What's happened, everyone? I hope you had a very blessed day today. I'm your host, SchuZ, Schumaker, and I want to ask you guys something real quick. You know, for me, I always love watching the Morris twins go up to Kansas, obviously playing the Suns together. All the siblings, the Zella brothers, the Lopez brothers. Man, I mean, this list goes on forever and ever, but what about the Cambridge siblings? They're up and coming. I don't think you're going to miss hearing from them. As you get to hear from the entire family today, you're going to hear from Devan, Desmond, Jordyn, Kennedy, Jalon, Jaloni, and Jasiah. All of them that have very bright futures ahead of them. But that's not the only special episode coming up. As there's big time things, make sure to head over to our Twitter and Instagram to find out what those big things are. And make sure to drop by and follow me at Instagram and Twitter at Zach Schumaker. Also, make sure to subscribe to the podcast depending on whatever platform you're listening to. Leave a comment, rate it, give it a 5-star, whatever you want to give it. Definitely appreciate that. With that being said, I think we got to head right on into this. So let's get started. I'm blessed to be able to welcome on one of the top players from Arizona in the class of 2019, where he's the number 6 overall player in the state while playing with Hillcrest. He's a 3-star forward and was one of the star players in the young up-and-coming number 5 overall team in Auburn, who's off to a 13-0 start. And, of course, he's one of the Cambridge siblings. And Devan Cambridge, what's happening, my guy?
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Great. How about yourself?
Pretty good. So, I mean, let's just jump right into this. I mean, obviously, you guys are off to a big-time start, but right now, let's just kick it off talking about you guys as siblings. I mean, talk about coming from a family with so much talent, from obviously all the way up to Jalon being the oldest, all the way down to the young guys. Talk about just you guys as a family.
Just growing up, really, all my siblings, they were into basketball, and I was really I started out playing football. I just seen them, they were just playing basketball, and I just started to fall in love with it. Since then, we've all had our own paths, but we, as you can see, we all just doing our own thing, being successful. My sister's at Vandy, brother at Nevada. I'm at Auburn. Nobody ever thought we'd make it this far in this, hard work and paid off.
Without a doubt, and I think one thing that's special is that everyone in the sports community really embraces siblings. I mean, obviously it's a special thing, but I mean, a lot of time you see is rather just 1 or 2 siblings. I mean, there just was an NBA record, obviously seeing the Holiday, all 3 of them were able to play against each other. But I mean, you guys have, obviously like you just said, you and Desmond, Jalen's playing Division I. I mean, you got all that, and then obviously the young guys are coming up, and that's just a special thing to be a part of.
Yeah, real special, man.
Mm-hmm. And so kind of talk about each one of them, go down the list about how you guys' connection is, and talk about how you guys have kind of grown with your guys' relationships in the terms of basketball on and off the court.
Well, Jalon, we try to talk every now and then. Me, Des, we just on the game, just that's how we can get our talking in, bonding, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
without doubt.
In a basketball standpoint, we went to high school together for 2 years. We got closer during that time. We played good together. And we were playing against Des, and we lost every time to get to state. They always knocked us out. Yeah, it was good. It was some good battles. And then with Desmond, I think I'm most closest to him. We grew up same house, same mom, same dad. He was always on me. Always wanted me to be the best I can be. He always pushed me. We got into the most fights. But yeah, we always push each other in basketball, and I'm just trying to follow really his footsteps. He gonna show everybody. He gonna wake everybody up next year. My oldest sister, Jordyn Cambridge, she goes. Actually, we found out about her late. My dad had just came up one day. He was like, "Yeah, this your sister." So it was surprising. We never knew her, and then we started to talk more and more. Our bonds got closer. Now she's at Vandy doing her own thing. She's having a great year. And you got Kennedy. She goes to school with Jaloni. That's the youngest. They just both of them. We love them all. They both. I feel like Jaloni, she's gonna be the best out of all of us. She works hard. She puts in the time, effort. She's really dedicated. She's getting looks, and she's not even in high school yet. They playing varsity. Then we got Jasiah, last one, the goofiest one. He's one of a kind, man. He just, I don't know what path he gonna follow. He plays ball, but I think he likes football. So it's up to him what he gonna decide. when he gets older. But I think he's good at both.
For sure. I think one of the cool things that you talked about, I mean, all you guys had different paths so far to reaching where you guys are at. I mean, obviously we look at Jalon, he's kind of coming to his own, trying to figure out where his next step will be. But then you look at guys like Desmond, he also didn't come out really highly recruited. He had a few offers, but not many, and he's able to go and put on a show and really make it to the next level where he had almost every college wanting him. And Jordyn came out as a top ranked girl, obviously had her ACL injury and was having to recoup from that, and now it gets her level. And for you, I mean, you weren't really a highly recruited player up until the summer where you were able to go out on the EYBL circuit and obviously do what you did and also make the whole country want to offer you and have you part of their roster.
Yeah, it's just it's just all blessing, man. Just stay humble, right and ready.
No doubt. So I mean, let's jump into that now. I mean, obviously it was a recruitment process that you were kind of looking forward to seeing where you could go, and you kind of took the risk, went and played in the EYBL with AOT, and obviously your connections grew and you were able to go and have a big time season. Talk about what that process was like, going from where you were finishing with Hillcrest all the way up until committing obviously to Auburn.
Starting at Hillcrest, I had a great year. I think I could have did better. Of course, you're gonna always do better, but I thought I did enough to where colleges should have saw something in me because I'm doing things other people doing that's getting more looks than me. So I'm confused on what's happening. It was discouraging. I'm putting up good numbers, nobody really looking at me. So I took the chance, go play the summer ball with AOT. It was the best decision I could have possibly made. I just had to do the same thing in front of the right eyes, I guess, and on the biggest stage.
Without a doubt, obviously for you, you did put yourself in a good position with Hillcrest. I mean, being able to be a part of a team, obviously featuring guys like Kyrie and Dalen was a big time thing. But like you said, I mean, some people just always don't necessarily always look at all the talent. Some people don't evaluate to the best abilities. And you go into the club season, you put on a show, and I think mostly not only did you put on a show, but you made a lot of great friendships and connections on that team. Talk about all you guys, including Sharif and all those guys that you really create a great connection with that's now translated over to Auburn.
I didn't really get to play with, Isaac and Stretch that's here now. They was there the year before this. But Sharif, best point guard in the world, man. He great teammate, great to play around. It's cool, relaxed, great attitude about the game. He just make you want to, it's just a good guy to play with. He just make you better. He made me look 10 times better.
Without a doubt. And so talk about your guys' connection. I mean, how did it first start? How did you guys really create such a tight bond?
No, when I first got there, I didn't know anybody. Well, I knew Sharif. I knew his name. He's a big time player. But I didn't know him personally. So I just came in just trying to play my role. First game, EYBL, just come in, playing good defense. I think I got a dunk. No, I got a fast break dunk, windmill. And that's when it just changed from there. And then they was like, oh, he gonna catch whatever. He gonna catch lobs. He gonna go get it and shoot it, play defense at all. And we just started talking after that game and just got closer as it came. I stayed with him during the summer, so that just made we just working with each other all summer. Just getting closer from there.
Without a doubt. And so kind of talk about how that recruiting process went in terms of getting him over to Auburn. I mean, I know that was obviously must have been a great feeling knowing that one of your closest friends will be able to come play with you now. But talk about what steps you kind of took and how and when you kind of figured out that he was going to come be a part of Auburn next year.
Well, if nobody, I don't think people know this, but it's been a thing. I think it's been a thing for about 2 or 3 years. He's been wanting to come here. They've been recruiting him forever. This is his home. He feel like this is where he can, come a pro. So I already knew. We're just waiting for him to announce it. But it's just amazing that I get to play with such a great player like that at the point guard. I'm just ready for next year. Still we focus on this year, but next year is gonna be something special.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And obviously not only next year will be special, but like you said, this year is something that you guys are a top 5 team in the country now, one of only 2 undefeated teams, obviously along with San Diego State. And so talk about how as a team you guys have kind of grown and become the team you guys are now, being one of the top teams, if not the best team in the country.
Bruce Pearl, he stresses the fact that, we're not going to be the best offensive team all night and we're going to win. Our way we're going to win is with our defense. And we pride ourselves on that. But Yeah, people, they would sleep on us. They wouldn't. They were saying we were gonna lose. We wasn't good enough. We're not strong enough to win the SEC. This and that. We ain't playing nobody. We got our first win the other day against Mississippi State, and they're still not giving us the recognition that we deserve. We're gonna keep winning. We're gonna show everybody.
No doubt. And to talk about also the team, I mean, I think you guys really, the thing that's special about you guys and why you guys, and also San Diego State does the same thing, but the reason you guys are undefeated is because you guys play so much as a team. I think that's evident when you guys watch you guys. I think there's not really every game, there's not one guy on your guys' team that goes and just destroys every time. It'll be different guys each time that kind of step up and play the big hero kind of game, and also there's a lot of surrounding cast. So talk about how you guys have built as a team, as chemistry, and talk about that area.
Yeah, what people don't realize is like you gotta play as a team. Like that's the people that win NCAA tournament. That's what wins championships. You gotta just play together, and that's what we do. We don't have any selfish people on our team. Nobody's trying to get certain numbers. It's a different guy every night. Like off the bench, it don't matter. Like it's anybody. It can be anybody's night.
Without a doubt, I think for you when people watch, it's something that they can kind of go in and expect you when you get minutes is to play defense. You're going to lock up your guy, but everyone's always excited and ready to see the one highlight play, rather it be a big time block, a dunk, and you've obviously already gotten sports center a couple of times for that. So talk about being that energizing guy, being the guy that a lot of fans love to see get in the game.
Coming off the bench, you got to do everything right. This your first year. Just feel like you want to do everything perfect because you never know when you're going to get that opportunity again. So, I just go in there and try to do what I do, which is I can jump out the gym. I just try to make a highlight every time I can.
No doubt. So let's talk into next year. I mean, obviously, you guys are a relatively young team, but there will be some pieces that will then move on because of graduation or rather just be going pro. But talk about what the team's going to start looking like for next year. And obviously, we know Sharif's coming in, but any other big recruits you guys are planning on maybe bringing in?
We're hoping to get Dylan Cardwell. He played with ALT with us in the summer.
Yeah.
From McEachern. He goes to McEachern right now with Sharif. That would be a big piece. We're real close. He's a great energy guy. Gonna do everything that the team needs. Everybody needs him on your team.
For sure. And so I know another guy that a lot of Auburn fans have kind of looked at as possibly being a fun piece to add to you guys, Jalon Green. I know you guys also have a good connection, but talk about what that possibly could be looking like at Auburn, and if not, just what do you expect to maybe have your guys' friendship continue to grow?
The plan is to get him at Auburn. We thought he was going to commit on Christmas, but he moved it back to March, his commitment date. I guess I don't know if he's trying to see what people are going to do in the tournament or so and so. If he was to come here, it would be really literally unstoppable. Like everybody better around him. I think it'd make me better, make me work harder.
No doubt. And so then let's talk about one other thing. I mean, I know before you commit to Auburn, there was another big time scene this time you had at Peace Gym, but you also were looking at another school in terms of West Virginia. Talk about what that was looking like and really what led you to want to consider them and possibly commit to them before Auburn.
So West Virginia, that was my first big time offer. I was gonna, at first, honestly, I was gonna go to Tennessee State University because that was before, I had played in the EYBL, that. I was just gonna go there, and my coach, I grew up with the coach. It's not a bad conference, OVC. It was gonna be good luck, But everybody's like, you can go higher, this and that. So I took the chance, tried to see where I could go. So then, I played the first session. West Virginia had called. Went on a visit, and I loved it because I've never seen nothing like it. The facility was great. Their play style fit mine, and it was I just felt like that's where I needed to be. Then I played Peace Jam. Auburn calls, Oregon calls, and just starting to get calls. I was like, Auburn, I've been wanting to go here for the past 2 years. So it's time to make a decision. Sharif's dad, which is our coach, Coop, is like, don't rush anything. I was about to commit to West Virginia right after Peace Jam. He's like, just take your time, man. They're going to still be there. They want you. So, I made the decision. I was like, yeah, Auburn, same play style, closer to home. Love the coach. The coach is like, he makes you feel at home, makes you feel like family. Just I felt like I need to be here, and West Virginia, they gave me the call. They just acted like, basically they didn't want me. They was gonna do it without me. They could win this and that. So I was like, let me prove them wrong. I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna shine. I'm gonna show them, make them remember my name.
No doubt. Just making sure you can always be there and have the place that fits best for you. I mean, West Virginia could have been a great fit as well. Who knows? But you went to a place now where, once again, you guys are number 5 in the country, which is just an accomplishment that there's only 4 schools currently ranked higher than you guys, but you can make the argument that you guys are the number 1 team. And being a part of that, being in that atmosphere, being able to play with a lot of guys that you know is a huge thing as well.
Yeah, for sure.
And you also talked about Bruce Pearl there for a little bit. Talk about his personality as being one of the most fun, energetic coaches in all college. Talk about what that's like being around him all the time.
Man, that man he's something different. I've never seen a coach have to bet. Like he tells you to shoot the ball. He does not care who you are. He wants you to score. He doesn't care. Like I've never seen he's just a free guy. Like he'll let you do not whatever, but basically like you can take. Like the play style is crazy. Like as long as you're playing defense, he really doesn't care. He doesn't say that's a bad shot. It's rare that he says that's a bad shot. Like it would have to be a pretty bad shot for him to say it. His personality is great. It makes you feel he's honest with you. Makes you feel like family. Like I said, makes you feel at home. He tells you where you are, what you need to work on. And, like he gives you a chance. He always says stay right, stay ready. Everybody gets a chance that other colleges don't get. I love that man for that.
No doubt. And then before I let you go, I was wrapping up a couple of different questions. The first one being, who in your life would you say has been your biggest role model?
My biggest role model will have to be my mom. I say that because she's always been there for me no matter what. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life growing up. There's points where she didn't even want to mess with me anymore, but like she's always there when I need her. She's gonna guide me down the right path, make sure I'm doing right, no matter what.
That's awesome. I mean, I think God always puts that person in your life to help keep you down the right path and help get you to the point that God is in store for you. And obviously, so far you've panned out great, and just having that person that's there that you always can count is a huge thing.
Yeah.
And my final question I was wrapping up with is, how would you say God's helped get you to the point you're at today?
He's helped me a lot. I try to talk to him as much as I can, because I feel like he plays a big role in my life. I don't think I would be where I am without him. Like I said, some of it has to do with me and my work ethic, but I think he gave me ability, like my jumping ability, all of this, and I wouldn't have had it without him. So I thank him for that. I just hope he keeps guiding me down the right way. I'm going to listen to him.
Absolutely. I mean, he's always that person that, once again, you can kind of count on. And he's the person that it can help you out through any situation, your highs or lows. And that's just an awesome thing to have as well.
No doubt.
Well, definitely appreciate you taking time to come on today, my guy. Obviously, I'm excited to see how the rest of the season goes and from here on out.
War Eagle.
No doubt, bro. God bless.
God bless you, too.
I'm blessed to be able to welcome on the sophomore guard for Vanderbilt, who is a former number 22 overall player in the class of 2018. She's a 3-time TSWA D2 All-State recipient, 2017 D2 State Championship MVP, and D2 Miss USA finalist his sophomore and junior year while she was at Ensworth High School. And now she's one of the star players at Vanderbilt. And Jordyn Cambridge, what's going on today?
Hi, how are you doing?
Pretty good. So let's just jump right in. Let's talk about your family, talk about your siblings. What's it like growing up in a family that has so much talent throughout all the kids?
To be honest, as a kid, I didn't really realize how big of a deal that it was. I just knew that I had a lot of siblings. We all played basketball, and that was pretty cool for me. But now that I'm older, it's really, really exciting to see that I have siblings all over the country playing basketball and all of us doing what we love, and not only just doing what we love, but succeeding in it. And that's great seeing, and it's great to see like outsiders coming up to me and asking all these questions about like my family and like how talented we are. And that's just really good to hear, and it makes me feel good.
Without a doubt, knowing that your family's all been able to really live out the same dream you're able to do. Obviously, there's four of you guys right now in college, but the younger ones are coming up too. So just talk about what your guys' relationship has been like and how it's been like and how he's helped really help impact your career.
So Jalon is my oldest brother. Um, our relationship is really good. Well, for all my siblings, we're all like we have really good relationships. Even though like especially like growing up after we like started getting over and started traveling a lot, we didn't really get to see each other as much. But we still found a way to like stay in contact with each other and keep up with each other. And we're all so interested in like keeping up with each other. And um, Desmond, who's my second oldest brother, who's at Nevada now. I was really hoping that he was going to get to come to Vanderbilt with me, but things didn't work out that way. So, I mean, it's okay. So I'm just going to support him at Nevada anyway. We actually went to Innsbruck together, and that was pretty cool to have my big brother there. And it was good to see him firsthand and his games. It was actually cool to see him playing against Jalon, who was at JP2, and then Devan, my younger brother, who was also at JV2. So whenever Innsbruck would play JV2, that was fun to see them competing against each other. And Devan, who's at Auburn right now, um, we're pretty close as well. I try to check in on him a lot, and he does a good job of checking in on me. I actually drove him back up there halfway as a favor because I'm just a great sister. But I'm extremely proud of him. He went through a lot, like trying to like get seen and get exposure through high school, like traveling and going different places to be seen. And I'm just like really proud that he ended up at Auburn, such a great school to be at, and I'm really proud of him that he's doing well there. And then I'm just gonna stick with the boys for right now. So Jasiah, the youngest guy, um, he I'm just glad he has so many like older brothers to look up to and follow in their steps, and not only older brothers, like all of the girls as well. And he has all of these people that he can follow in our footsteps, and he knows like what not to do and what to do. And I know he looks up to us so much, and I think it's like important for us to be a really good, leader and role model for him as well. And then as far as the girls go, I would definitely say that I'm closer with the girls because obviously we're girls, we're just automatically connected to each other in that way. Um, I would say my relationship with both of them is like really good, like probably more than the boys because we talk more, and it's just easier for us to talk, and they can come and they can talk to me, and I know that they look up to me a lot, especially Jaloni. She's like always at my games, and then I try to get to their games all the time, and I love that they're getting to play together because I never had a sibling in high school that I got to play with. Like Jalon had Devan, and then they got to play against Desmond, and now Kennedy and Giovanni have each other. But I never had that, so I'm glad that they get to play together and they get to experience high school together. I wish I could have had that, but that's okay.
Mhm.
It's okay. We're just striving through. So yeah.
No doubt. I mean, just like you said, I mean, going on the list, I mean, having so many people be able to achieve, like you said, the dreams that all you guys really eventually want is just incredible because it's well known, obviously, being able to become a Division I athlete is not easy whatsoever. It's really almost impossible. It's one of the very slim things that you can get achieved in life, and
Yeah.
having so many of you guys, having all you guys really be able to achieve that's just an incredible thing.
For sure. For sure.
hmm And so just let's talk a little bit more about that. I mean, you talk about Devin. I mean, him being a guy that obviously a lot of people knew he had a lot of potential playing with Hillcrest guys, playing alongside guys like Dalen and Kyrie. But I mean, no one really saw him as a highly recruited player, not really a highly ranked player as well. And obviously not until he played in the AOT this past summer in the EYBL did he really start to blow up. And seeing him develop into becoming a player that all these top schools really want him is just an incredible thing.
I think Devin definitely always put himself in positions where he was going to be seen regardless. And over the years, I think his game has evolved so much, and it's like crazy to see because it like his shooting got better. he got taller. I don't know how he's just so tall. Him and Desmond are so tall, and his shooting got better. His ball handling got better. He just got better like every year, like by day, and that was just really, really incredible to see. And I think that came with him surrounding himself by the really good players. So when schools were coming to watch those good players, they would have no choice but to watch Devin. I think he did a good job of putting himself out there and making a name for himself. And he definitely did that because he got to where he is now. And now he's one of those big names that people are talking about. And I think that's just incredible for him.
hmm Without a doubt. You said earlier about having the younger kids really be able to see and look up to you guys as who you guys can become, and really all you guys have so many different paths of how you guys achieved your guys' goals. Obviously with Jalon, he was a guy that was able to go Division One, is now looking at other options, just seeing where he can go, other opportunities now. Obviously, like we just talked about Devin being kind of a late bloomer in terms of people starting to recognize him, and Desmond almost the same thing, but he had some offers and was able to go to school where he grew and developed into a great player. And then for you, obviously coming off an injury, being really the highest ranked player in the family, but coming off an injury and developing and turning into the player you've become so far, it's just something they can all see. There's so many different paths to achieving their goals.
Yeah, and that's really good because not everyone is going to have the same journey, and they need to know that just because it might not go like one way that you expect doesn't mean that you can't eventually get there. You just have to take a longer path or go through obstacles, but eventually you can get there. And I want them to be able to know that you can go at it different ways, because as obviously we all did, and we all are getting where we want to be.
hmm Without a doubt. Now let's get a little bit more about you and your career. So obviously you had a really incredible high school career throughout your first 3 years. Obviously it didn't end the way I'm sure you wanted it to, but let's just
hmm
talk about those first seasons as a high school player. Talk about what that was like, having so many accomplishments and having such a successful first 3 years.
In high school, it was kind of crazy because when I first started on the high school team, I was in the 8th grade. So, and I was surrounded by a bunch of seniors. So everyone was 18 years old and I was just 14. And so first of all, that was scary. And I was coming in, I was starting, and I was nervous, and I was like questioning my ability. But then my players, my teammates, and my coaches were doing like a good job of telling me like I'm obviously here for a reason. So I think that kind of helped me like start to develop like a leadership role, to like find my voice on the court as a point guard. It was interesting to see how our team was developing through the years. Like we started off really good when I was in 8th grade, and then we kind of slowly started to go down when people graduated my freshman year, and then we started to pick it back up my sophomore year, and then we really had it my junior year when we won state, and we had the right people, and it was just really good for us. And then when I got hurt my senior year, that was really rough for me. It was a very depressing time for me, but I knew that I couldn't just like stay on the sideline and like not, be a part of the team, because I was still on the team. So I tried to like make my voice be heard, and basically be a coach, another coach for Coach Cowles, and that's what I was. And it was easy to do that because my teammates, they know that I have their best interest at heart, and they know that I know what I'm talking about, and they were open to hearing that. So again, I really kind of enjoyed that, because coming into college, I didn't realize how big of a leader that I was gonna have to be, which I'm still learning as a sophomore. So I think that was like a really big step for me in helping me with that, because without that, I think I would have been like further behind, like trying to become the leader that I'm trying to be now.
hmm Without a doubt. And let's talk more about that. I mean, obviously, God has different ways of really putting stuff in trials in our lives to really just help us become a better and better person. And like you said, I mean, obviously, was that something that you probably wanted to have happen? No. But like you said, you were able to grow and you were able to learn something else, your leadership. You were able to make a better connection that way and gain really a better idea of the game of basketball through a different coaching lens. And that's just something that can benefit you, obviously, as a point guard and as a guard now at the next level.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. When I got to college, I was still hurt, and I was like in between, like, am I gonna redshirt? Am I gonna play? So I didn't really know, and that was like really hard for me. So my coaches, like, we were just talking, and they were like, okay, well, we just need you, to get your voice or whatever. So last year they kept saying that, but honestly, I didn't feel like myself on the court. So because I didn't feel like myself, I didn't really feel like that I had the right to like speak up and say things because I couldn't really even play at my full potential. So it was like spots here and there where I would like really show my voice. But then this year I feel like I came in and I'm Jordyn again. I'm back to who I was before, or pretty close to who I was before I got hurt. And now I know that my teammates, they know that I know what I'm talking about. And because I'm the point guard, they trust me and they know I have the ball in my hand a lot. And I have to make decisions on the fly, and I have to basically, like take the blame for if something goes wrong. My coaches are looking at me, so I have to be the one to, get everybody in the right spot. And I think I'm really coming into that role. And my teammates are honestly, they're making it easier, and it's my coaches too, because they're on me every day. They're always like, I don't care what you're saying, just say something, So I think I'm really getting better at it, and obviously it's something I'm gonna still continue to grow on. But hopefully by the end of this year I might like have it good. So then next year I'm gonna just be ready to completely take over like leadership wise.
Absolutely. And obviously, I mean, anyone coming off an injury is really, especially a massive injury like you had with your knee, is something that a lot of people obviously have fear with in terms of basketball, especially. We talk about what your rehab process was like and really be able to get you to the point you're at today and how the rehab is still going up to this point.
Whew. My rehab process was long. So I got hurt going into my senior year in May. So then I had surgery right away after that. And then I was rehabbing, but things weren't going as I wasn't on track. So my doctors were like, okay, I went in, they were like, you have what we call arthrofibrosis, which is when scar tissue builds up really quickly in your knee. So I'm like, okay, I don't even know what that really means at that point. So they send me in again, they put me under, and it's not really surgery, they just take me in and they like bend and straighten my knee like manually. So I'm like, okay, cool, that'll give me a little bit more range of motion. So after that, I come out and I have a little bit more range of motion, and I'm still doing therapy, but things are it's not going good. It's not going good at all. So then I changed doctors. So he tells me that I'm going to have to do another surgery. So I'm like, okay, well, this surgery it just has to work. So I get that surgery done in December of the same year that I get hurt. So, basically this surgery, it just went in and it cleaned out all the scar tissue that was like building up. It didn't get all of it, but it got a good chunk of it out. So after that, I started doing therapy at Vanderbilt, and it was doing better. Like I had a lot more range, like a lot more. It was like drastically different, and I felt different, and it was great. So then I finally get to campus, and now I'm a freshman. I'm doing rehab 3 times a week, and I've been doing rehab 3 times a week since my first surgery in May. And then when I finally get cleared, I'm like, okay, you can play again. So I'm playing again for a couple months. I'm playing a couple games. I'm still not like feeling like 100%. I'm still nervous about myself. I'm not having to wear a brace because I had already been out so long that they're like, you don't need to wear a brace. So it's like, okay, cool. Then like midway through the season, I have an accident and where I like break, like my knee bends further than it's used to, and I break a bunch of scar tissue. And like that's a really good thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, I didn't really know that, but like it held me out for a month, and that was like really like hard for me because I had just got back, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm back and I'm playing. So I was out for a month, and then I was having to take these hop tests to get back, which I kept failing. I failed like 3 times, and it was just not good for me because I was like, if I can't pass the test, I can't play. So I finally passed the test, and I'm playing again. So again, while I'm playing, I'm still doing rehab 3 times a week. So then coming into this year, my sophomore year, I'm getting better. Like I'm stronger. I'm stronger. My quad is stronger. So now my therapy is not really that much anymore. So I'm going like not like twice a week, sometimes once a week. And now I'm like, everyone's like, Jordyn, you're bending better, you're moving better. I don't know what happened in between like April and when I got back in the summer, but something happened and I just felt like a completely different person. So yeah, and actually recently I actually just graduated physical therapy for good. So after 2.5 years, I'm finally done with therapy. I don't have a maintenance plan, but I don't have a physical therapist anymore. Super excited about it. It was like a huge accomplishment for me because I feel like I've been through the trenches with this injury and I've been having to deal with it for so long. So I'm glad to just finally like, okay, I'm done with it. I'm not like, my knee is not a problem anymore. I'm just playing now.
That's incredible. I mean, like you said, I mean, just having to go through all those different levels and stages is something that obviously it probably was not the best thing you guys wanted to have, but it got you to this point now where you're currently, obviously, like you said, you still want to reach another level. You still think you have more to go. But right now, I mean, you're a top 25 person in the nation, steal, second in the SEC, and you're also one of the top assist leaders in the SEC. So talk about now being that leadership, kind of growing in that leadership role, growing with your team now, and what it's been like being able to feel more and more like yourself now.
Honestly, I don't even know what it felt like before. It's been so long that all I know is that I feel good. And that when I feel good, I play good, and when I play good, my teammates play good, and that's just what we need. And coming in this year, we have like a different team. Like the environment is different, and it makes it easier for us to play. Like we love each other so much, and we love our coaching staff, and we just want to play for each other so much that it makes playing hard and doing all the hard stuff like really easy for us. So becoming a leader for this team is also easy because we have 7 freshmen coming in. They're just looking for a little guidance. So when everyone got together, we all just like clashed together. It was like we were good. Like we all were athletic and we want to play hard and we are competitive. And when you have a competitive team and no one likes to lose, that's what we need. And that's what makes it easy for us. So it makes it easy when I'm trying to get steals because I know my teammates are probably gonna like get a deflection. So then I'll swoop in and get the steal, and it makes it easy because we get so excited for one another.
Without a doubt, and that's obviously evident with having a 9-3 record, first in the SEC right now. So what are you guys really looking forward to from here on out? To what's kind of your guys' goals for the rest of the season?
We're just trying to get better every day, honestly. We just want to be better than we were the day before, 1% better every day. So yeah, we don't really have any main goals as far as like a record goes. Obviously we strive to win every game. So that's just where we are right now.
Absolutely. And now for you, what's really your goal from here on out in terms of a player? Do you want to go after college? Do you still want to go possibly play in the women's NBA or professionally? Or really, where do you want to go from here on out after basketball in college?
It's always been a dream of mine to go play professionally. But as I've gotten older, it's really going to be a judgment of how well my knee is going to hold up for like that long. So yes, I'm not in therapy anymore, but I still have to keep in mind that I still don't have full range of motion in either direction. So it's really going to be, am I going to be able to play basketball that long with my knee like this at the professional level?
Absolutely. And before I let you go, I was like wrapping up with one question, just saying, who would you say in your life has been your biggest role model?
I'm gonna have to go with my mom. She's my everything basically. She's my biggest fan. I try to model how the kind of woman that I want to be when I graduate, and when I have a family of my own, I'll know what to do because she did such a great job. So yeah, my mom.
That's awesome. And just having that person that you can kind of rely on that is your biggest supporter, but also at the same time holds you accountable and kind of your role model is just an awesome thing to have.
Yes, for sure. And she's definitely there for me. It's actually funny because she didn't play basketball, so she had to like learn about basketball, and I love that she did that. So now she'll be like, oh, why did you do this, and this? Because now she knows. At first she couldn't say those things because she was like, okay, I don't really know what I'm talking about. But now she does, and she made those kind of sacrifices for me. She made a lot of sacrifices for me, and I really appreciate it, and I really wouldn't be where I am today without all of the things that she sacrificed for me. So yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I definitely appreciate taking time to come on today. Best luck this upcoming season, obviously, from here on out.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
No problem. God bless. I'm excited to be able to welcome on one of the stars at Fisk University, where he's currently averaging 5 points per game, a little over a rebound, and almost 2 assists per game. He's the oldest of the Cambridge siblings, and he's the Pope John II all-time leading scorer. And that person is Jalon Cambridge. What's going on today, bro?
Nothing much, just chilling, man. How about you? You good?
Yeah, for sure.
That's what's up.
We'll get into your college stuff in a minute, but let's just talk about your family. I mean, you're part of really a great family where you guys are able to have so much talent from the sibling side. Talk about what that's like.
Man, growing up with them, it's always a battle. Literally, all of us, if we're not in the gym doing something like daily, then it's a problem. Like, our dad always made sure that anytime we got in the gym, we get in the gym and we actually do what we need to do to get better. And it was always competitive. So that's one thing. That's one good competitive nature that we all have, that I think we have because of that. Because, like, all of us just play basketball. It's crazy. Just competitive nature.
All you guys are Division I players, rather right now, are going to be Division I players in the future. So talk about what that's like, seeing all you guys be able to reach these dreams that are really almost impossible to reach.
And it's crazy watching them grow from where we were to where we are, and how at least 3 out of 4 of us right now, 4 of us, are playing collegiate basketball. Man, I feel like the sky's the limit for us, literally. Just as long as we stay humble and knowing where you came from and continue to push yourself. But we already got that, so there's no reason to tell that about that. So, you know.
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt, we're going to go down the list talking about all your siblings. But for starters, let's talk about Devan. I mean, you guys were able to play together. Talk about what that was like being back at high school, playing at Pope John. What was that like?
Man, it was I can tell you, it was a crazy story. It's crazy rides, man. Crazy stories. Best thing I can say is it was good to have him in high school with me, because, you know, that brother mentality when we were playing on the court, on and off the court. It was always fun. Just fun being around him, being with him. Always makes me laugh. And to see, especially coming from where we were at Pope John Paul, to see him at Auburn, because not that many people, especially from that school, make it anywhere. It's crazy. Just not that many people come out of there. So to see him where he's at now, man, that's a big shocker from Hendersonville, Tennessee, and not that many people know about that. So it's crazy. I'm glad for him. More than happy for him. More than happy for him. He deserves all that he's got right now. Worked hard for it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's something that we truly see like a God story with him, because we know that coming out of Hillcrest last year, I mean, he was a good player. We knew that a lot of people saw that potential in him, but he really didn't have that many offers. He wasn't that highly recruited player, and he goes and hops on with AOT, has some highlight plays before that, and he turns into a player that all of a sudden is pulling in Power 5 school offers all over the place, and obviously we know he ends up going to Auburn. That's just a great story to see for him. Then let's talk about the other brother, Desmond. What's it like seeing him, and how has he had an impact on your life?
Man, that's a crazy guy right there. Anytime I just feel like he's the type of guy that he was always the smarter one out of us all. So anytime there was a problem, we would always just go to him, and it doesn't matter what the problem is. Just like, even that would have to do with numbers, homework, any of that. We always went to Desmond, man, and he's a character. But he was also slept on with him, both of them, not having that many offers coming out of high school, and man, they worked their butts off. I can tell you that much. With me, just how far they came from, especially Desmond, he worked off. But with him, he's a funny character. Always makes you laugh, man. But very competitive guy, and you can't tell him nothing on the court ever. Doesn't matter. It's all in his head. If he plays good, it's on him. If he plays bad, it's on him. And no one fits him. It's funny. It's a funny character, dude. Awesome.
Absolutely. And then the other college-bound player right now is obviously Jordyn. Talk about her and how she's had an impact on your life.
Man, she's probably the wouldn't want to say hardest, but all of us work that hard. But she's came a long way from where she's came from, and man, she's taking off right now. I kid you not. I honestly did not expect her to have the season that she's having right now, because not that many people coming off an injury like that are able to cope and be where they were, let alone where they are, where she is right now. So I just let you know, like, her heart is bigger than a lot of people, way bigger.
Without a doubt. Obviously, for her, coming, like you said, off the injury is not really the easiest thing, but doing that and being able to come into a Power 5 school, a Vanderbilt team that's a very good team, this is a huge thing as well.
Exactly. Agreed.
And then there's some of the younger ones still up and coming. Talk about them. How is your guys' relationship? I know there's a little bit of age gap there, but talk about seeing them start to come in their own.
Whew, the younger ones, they're probably going to be the best out of all three of us. Out of all four of us. I kid you not. Just the fact that they were able to be in the gym with us when they were younger. You learn to get at a younger age than what we did, and grasping it way much faster than we are. And I just know for them, I know Jaloni at least, she got a bright future ahead of her. No other words for that except for she's probably the best one out of us. I'll never tell her that, but she'll probably see it on here, but to her face, never tell her that in my life.
For sure. I mean, obviously, see what Kenny's going to do. She's going to keep getting better and better, obviously picking her offers up, and we'll see what Jasiah does. Obviously, still really little, but I mean, like you said, Jaloni, I mean, she's obviously the number one player in her class right now, coming into high school. She's already played a year of high school right now, and she's doing her thing, receiving offers from so many Power 5 schools already. I mean, that's just a huge thing. Seeing, obviously, having, once again, so many of you guys go in Division I, schools like Auburn, like Nevada, like Vanderbilt, like all you guys, and having her already have the schools right now before she's really even started high school is a huge thing.
It is, agreed. And the fact that she's been able to play with her older sister, learning from her in high school, just them playing together. That's why I like the fact that they're be able to play together, win together, grow together, lose, whatever goes on.
Mm-hmm. And that heads us back. Let's talk about your high school career, obviously, before you went to college. And once again, obviously, played with Devan there for a while. You're the school's all-time leading scorer. Talk about what that whole experience was like.
Whew, that experience, man, it's one to live up to. It's one to admire, because of the fact that I've been there, because I was at Pope John Paul from freshman year to senior, and I love the times it gave me, especially on the court. I started as a freshman, played against people in the league right now, Darius Garland, Jordan Bone. So I've had the experience. I've definitely had the experience of playing against on that level, even in high school.
That's awesome. And obviously, at least now going to college, talk about your recruitment process. What really led you going obviously to Fisk?
Honestly, what led it was the Fisk coach. He coached Desmond in middle school, so he's known about my family, all of that. And he hit me up one day, just what's going on, what you doing? I was like, nothing much. And he wanted me to come to like a little just a little showcase, a little like thing with, this had other recruits that were there, and that they were like, oh yeah, we need you. So I was like, hey man, well, I'll see what I can do. So definitely it was a great process. That was probably really the first college that honestly looked at me. And man, we came a long way from that now. That the fact that we're getting coached by someone that was actually in the league, Kenny Anderson. But nonetheless, learning from him, and even with him being a point guard, I've learned a lot from him. You know the saying, if coaches don't say nothing to you, then that means they don't really care about you. So he always says something to me. And he wants me better, man. So I love it.
Without a doubt. And that's a huge thing, because today I think it's really more about having that connection with your coach. I think the player coach is a lot more popular, and I think that's rightfully so, because you look at, like you said, obviously everyone's dream to someday play professional, rather that be in the NBA, overseas, G League, whatever it may be. Those are all amazing options. So having someone that has really achieved that, been able to make it to that level, and someone like him that played at an elite level for many years, it's just something that you can have that connection and that relationship with that really can help develop you into a player you really can reach a max potential at.
Definitely.
Where do you look for from here on out?
Honestly, I'm taking my redshirt year. I'm going to transfer, or I've decided to take just a year off. So that's something a lot of people don't know yet.
That's big time. Are there any places that you're really looking at or considering, or schools that maybe reached out to you so far?
One school that has reached out to me is Trevecca Nazarene. That's also in Nashville. That's a D2 college, but that's just one school that I've known. But other than that, I'm really trying to get out of Nashville, honestly. But we'll see from there. I don't know. I got 2 years eligibility, so we're gonna see.
That's big time. And before I let you go, I was like wrapping with a couple of different questions. The first one being, who in your life would you say has been your biggest role model?
Definitely been my dad. That's from just us being so little. He sacrificed so much for us. It's crazy. Both of my parents, but he didn't let the fact that he had plenty of kids stop him from making us what we are today. Like getting us in the gym. He made sure that's the one thing he tell me. Anytime you get gym time, don't ever waste it. Don't ever waste it. Doesn't matter how long you get it, how short. Don't ever waste your gym time. So that's one thing that just stuck with me. That's him just allowing us to just be together as well, because obviously we all don't have the same mothers, but just being in our life, coming to our games, supporting us no matter what we do. And that's one thing that'll always stick with me that he's always done. Him, my mother, she's been there for me since since birth. Always been there for me, man. So I love my mom. I love her to death. Do anything for her. She still to this day makes sure I'm straight no matter what's going on. And she will not she'll always tell me anything I'm doing wrong. She doesn't care how old I am, 21 now. Yeah, I'm still a child to her eyes. So anytime, even on the court, she's probably the loudest person you'll ever hear. But yeah, she both of my parents have been my biggest influences ever since, just always. They've always been there for me. So I can't say that anyone else has been my role model other than them two.
That's awesome. I mean, just having that, like you said, I mean, having a dad that still wants to care about you and really bring you to really get you to the max point, especially, I mean, obviously can't be the easiest thing having so many kids that are all athletes playing basketball, but doing that, still obviously everyone's been successful so far and will continue to be. It's just an awesome thing. And obviously also having your mom is a true blessing that can be there. And like you said, just your biggest support is always a great thing to have.
Always.
And the final question I was like wrapping up with is, how would you say God's helped to get you to the point you're at today?
God has done so much for me, man. We'd be all day if I tell you all the things he's done for me. But honestly, if it wasn't for him, I promise you I wouldn't be where I am today. Just being allowing myself, the world is crazy now. The world is a lot of things are happening that you can't control, that things you cannot control. But the one thing that you can control is believing and trusting in him. And allowing him to guide the path that he has let you and put you on. You do that, sky's the limit. Sky's definitely the limit, man.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, man. I mean, like you said, he's there and can really get you through everything, no matter what it may be, whether it be a worldwide issue or an issue in your family, whatever it is, he's there and can guide you on and off the court, which is just an awesome thing to have.
Most definitely.
Mm-hmm. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking time to come on today, my guy. Obviously, best luck in your college decision. I'm looking forward to see what you get done.
I appreciate you, man. Definitely let everybody know, man. Sir.
No problem, bro. God bless.
Sir, God bless.
I'm excited now to be able to welcome on the youngest Cambridge, and Jasiah Cambridge. Welcome on, man. So let's just get right into this, though. Let's talk about your siblings, how they impacted you in your life so far.
My brother's dad helped me to succeed in what I do. That I always tried to copy them, but when I didn't get it right, they'll always help me back and make sure I got it right. And if I messed up, they'll take the blame for me for not teaching me how to do it. My sisters, they'll always tell me to not do it. Make sure you get it right. Don't make the same mistake, and always finish what you start.
That's big time. So let's go down the list, go through all the siblings, and just talk about how they've impacted you and really how and what your guys' relationship is like today. Obviously, let's start off with Jalon, obviously being the oldest one. What's his impact been on your life?
He always takes high percentage shots, and he always tell me, I gotta keep my hustle up, because I don't want to end up not be able to be as good as he knows I can be. Desmond, being able to see him be on TV and see how far he weighs, it just makes my heart fill up with joy. Because being able to see them, what they can accomplish, I think I should be able to do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Devan, he's always encouraged me to be better or try to do the same things he does. Jordyn, she helps me if I don't understand something. She'll be there for me. Kennedy, even though sometimes I might get her mad, she forgives me because she knows I'm her sibling and we can't stay mad at each other. Jaloni, I'm always around her most of the time. We always play basketball outside, and if I lose, she doesn't brag, no nothing. She always helps me up if I get fouled or like pushed down.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how I know if I got into a fight, my siblings would come and they'll help me.
Without a doubt. And so let's talk a little about you. What's really your outlook in terms of your future? Where do you see yourself being able to develop into, and what characteristics do you really share with some of your siblings?
I always wanted to be like known for something. my goal was to go to a little D1 or some schools like that and try to make it better known. The characteristics that I think I share with my family is I always be funny, like not like to the point where you laugh all the time. I just do funny stuff that just makes you want to laugh, and I laugh a lot, especially at Devin because he just sometimes says stuff that don't make sense, but it's just funny.
Without a doubt. And before I let you go, I was like wrapping with a couple different questions. The first one being, who would you say in your life has been your biggest role model?
I would say my brother Devin because I always say I want to dunk like him. The way he can just get off the ground easily, it just affects me and thinking that I can do the same thing.
No doubt. Well, I definitely appreciate taking time to come on today, my guy. I'm excited to see what God's got in store for you from here on out. God bless, bro.
Okay. All right. Bye.
It's a blessing to be able to welcome on one of the top players in the class of 2024. Some call her even the number one overall player. As an 8th grader, she's one of the star players at Ensworth High School, where she's able to play with her sister Kennedy. She was one of the star players at FEC United this past summer where they won the UAA championship. After the junior NBA, she also was able to win the championship there while winning player of the game in the final game with 20.6 rebounds and 10 assists. Heading into her 8th grade year, she already has offers from like Alabama, Kentucky, Virginia Tech, Auburn, Georgia, and many more. And that person is Jaloni Cambridge. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
That's good. So, let's jump right in. Talk about you guys as a family. Obviously, there's so much talent. You're one of the younger ones, but talk about seeing how all your siblings have been able to really achieve the dreams that almost all basketball players love to achieve at some point.
I mean, we all started off really young. Our father was the one who set everything up. We've been playing ever since. So, I mean, once we're together, it's just basketball and having a good time.
Absolutely. And so obviously one of the siblings right now you get to play with is obviously Kennedy. Talk about what that's like being able to play alongside her right now in high school.
It is truly a blessing to be able to play with my sister. I love her. When we play together, it is definitely one of the best backcourt duo in the nation as a sister.
Absolutely. I mean, I think whenever it's a brother or sister duo, it's something that's special because it's just a bond that is honestly naturally created.
Yes.
And so now let's go down the rest of the siblings. Obviously, there's a lot of them that are older than you too, obviously playing in college. So let's just go down the list. Kind of talk about how each one of them has really impacted your life and helped get you and guide your basketball career.
Yes. Jordyn, I look up to her the most. I mean, she's the oldest sister out of us three. And just being able to see what she does just inspires me to keep trying hard and to always push to be next level.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously her story is incredible. I mean, coming off a massive injury, still being one of the top players coming out of high school, and obviously grinding and getting back to the point she's at now and getting back to being one of the top guards in the entire country.
Yes. That's amazing.
No doubt. And now let's talk about some of the brothers. Let's start off with Jalon. Talk about what his impact has been kind of on your life and seeing now him through his basketball career.
I mean, I look up to him also. He is the oldest of us. So, I mean, just being the oldest, I mean, he has to put something so we can look up to him. So, I mean, he's just amazing.
Without a doubt. And then Desmond, talk about him, and obviously his path was a little bit different too, coming from going to a smaller college, playing at a high level in the Ivy League for a couple of years, and now obviously going to a lot bigger stage at Nevada in the upcoming season. Talk about his path and how he's helped you.
He's helped me by just being the best I can be, never to quit and give up.
No doubt. And then obviously Devin, he was someone that was a late bloomer in terms of getting a lot of offers, not until this past summer he started to really blow up. So talk about seeing him and how he's been able to grind to get to the point he's at today at Auburn.
Well, he's never given up, ever. I mean, once he wasn't the best, now everyone's talking about him. He's gotten, especially this past summer, like you said, gotten a bunch of offers, committed to Auburn, and just to keep pushing forward because no one's going to know.
Without a doubt. And so obviously there's also younger siblings. Talk about Jasiah and some of them.
I mean, Jasiah is my little bro. That's my best friend. I mean, he's annoying, but it's my best friend. We all help him out. If someone
Mhm.
doesn't get something, we help them out no matter what.
No doubt. And so now when you guys look forward, obviously everyone at least will be playing at college level. We all know that. But talk about professionally, talk about this, seeing each other down the line. How do you guys really like to keep that connection and keep that bond strong, even though a lot of you guys might be going different paths when it comes to professional and collegiate basketball careers?
I mean, I think we should all make it, no doubt, no matter what we do. And if we don't, I mean, people are still going to know the Cambridges as who we are because they're just not going to be talking about one person. They're going to be talking about the whole family. So, I mean, whoever makes it, makes it. But at the end of the day, we're all family, and we all have been the best family in the world. So, yeah.
Without a doubt. I think that's something that's so special because it's well known, obviously, that just making the collegiate level is something that's not easy. It's obviously something that's a lot of grind. It's very hard to make. Very few people can do it. And having an entire family do it is just something that is really unheard of. But seeing all you guys be able to play at the next level is an insane thing.
Yes, it is very.
hmm And so let's talk about your upcoming future. Obviously, you still have a lot of high school left for you, but talk about your college approach. Obviously, you already have offers from Alabama, Kentucky, Virginia Tech, Auburn, Georgia, and etc. But talk about what it's been like having so many offers at such a young age.
I mean, it's great. I'm just playing like I don't have any offers. You know what I mean? I don't brag about it because that's just not the thing to do at all. Don't brag about it. I just keep playing, just gonna collect more and see what the future holds for me.
Without a doubt. So when you first got your very first offer, what was that feeling like?
I mean, it was amazing. I was very surprised. I mean, I didn't expect it to be so early, but I knew that it was my time, and I just kept getting better and better. So, and then I got more.
Absolutely. So what was that situation like? How'd you find out you got the offer?
My father told me because one of the coaches called my father, and they were like, "You have now received an offer," and I was happy, very happy.
That's awesome. And so obviously you're able to play at high school right now as an eighth grader. Talk about what that's like going in there, obviously being the youngest player, one of the youngest players, and seeing how that plays out being one of the top players on that team too.
I mean, everyone doesn't get the chance to do that, but it's just a blessing to be able to, as an eighth grader, play high school and just do the things that I love and fit in with the team like no other. So yeah.
Absolutely. And so now looking down the rest of your high school career, how do you expect to approach that? What's some of the goals you have?
I mean, I want to win state championship all 5 years. That is my goal, and I feel like that will happen, especially with my teammates that I have now. This year, we're definitely winning, and I hope to get MVP, Miss Basketball, and all that type of stuff, and just have a great time.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, just going back to that, I mean, obviously the whole family as a whole is spectacular, but having also just three sisters that are all at a high level, obviously we've seen what Jordyn was able to accomplish throughout her 3 or 4 year high school career, and honestly Kenny's getting ready to start getting going too. But talk about that bond, having three sisters have such a big impact in basketball.
I mean, for us three, we're the point guard tree, as my father calls us. So we're the three sisters, no one else, and we're all point guards. So I mean, we just all follow each other, help each other get better, and never stop showing love for each other.
Without a doubt. And before high school got started, you were able to go and play in the junior NBA. I mean, that's obviously something that is a high level platform. It's a lot of fun, I can imagine. Talk about what that process was like and just the beginning stages of that, being able to create that team and get together.
That was the best experience of my life. I mean, the best tournament, both tournaments, the regional to get to the junior NBA, and just having a great time. We only had 7 people, so we didn't really have a big team, and it was great. I mean, it was only 7 of us, so we didn't really have a bigger team as other people, but just showing that us 7 could really go out there and show people that just because we have 7 people doesn't mean that you guys can just come up on us and just beat up on us. No, that didn't happen at all.
Without a doubt. And so talk about what it was like, obviously going throughout the season, obviously coming away being a champion of that division.
It was amazing. No one, I mean, myself, I knew we were going to win, but the team we played in the championship, I knew it was going to be a close game, but it actually wasn't. We showed our hearts out, and we got the dub, and we just showed everyone what FVC and who we were.
Absolutely. And it also obviously leads to another championship. Were you able to be coached by your dad having a part of your club team. Talk about what that was like going throughout the Under Armour circuit.
I mean, I love my father. He's been coaching me ever since I was little. He's been my one and only coach. I mean, just love for him, and just him being hard on me pushes me to be a better player, because without him, I don't know what I would be doing right now in my basketball career.
Absolutely. And obviously just talking a little more about your dad, Desmond Cambridge. I mean, he's someone that was able to have a really good college career. Obviously, he still has a record that's held with steals, not just steals per game, but also steals in a season. But talk about what it's like seeing your dad also accomplish something that you guys all want to do eventually in terms of being a high-level college player.
He's also someone that we all look up to. I mean, we might not all get the same awards that we get, but we achieve to do that.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. And before I let you go, I was like wrapping up a couple different questions. The first one being, who would you say has been your biggest role model in your life?
Probably my father or my sister, Jordyn.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. I mean, definitely God always puts someone in our lives that just help kind of guide us and keep us down the path and help us learn really what God has in store for us.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And my final question, like wrapping up with, is how would you say God has helped you get you to the point you're at today?
I mean, everyone, like I said earlier, does not get the chance to do the thing that they love. I mean, I got hurt in the beginning of April, and I didn't know what to do. I thought I was done with basketball. I had separated my AC joint from my shoulder and my collarbone, and God helped me recover faster than expected. And I just kept playing, and He's helped me, all of us, get to the point we've been. I mean, without Him, who knows what we'd be doing right now.
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt, that's something that's special because God always puts different things, trials and tribulations in our lives that we at the time don't really understand, I can imagine. And obviously going down a few years, a few weeks or months, whatever it may be, seeing what the end of result is and just as a great story you have. Obviously, we said earlier, I mean, Jordyn has a story that really was hard to come back from, almost 2 years, 2.5 years of recovery, and she's able to live out her thing. You going through different trials and tribulations, now coming out, possibly being the number one player in your class is just a huge blessing and truly a great thing showing how great God is.
Yes, very.
Mm-hmm. Well, definitely appreciate you taking time to come on today. Obviously, best luck this upcoming season from here on out. I'm expecting a big-time season and big-time career.
Thank you.
No problem. God bless.
You too.
I'm excited to welcome on one of the stars and one of the top teams, not just in Tennessee, but the entire country in Ensworth, who's off to a hot start. After winning a state championship last year, she's now one of the star players in this upcoming season for the 2022 Guard. She's the middle sister in the Cambridge family, and that person is Kennedy Cambridge. What's going on?
Not much.
All right, cool. So let's jump right in. Talk about your guys' family. I mean, it's something special coming from so many elite players, obviously starting with your parents, and then obviously trickling down now to all you guys. Talk about what it's like growing up with so much elite athletes in the family.
It's a lot of pressure because you have one above you, and you feel like you have to fit in, and you just have to push yourself to try and be a bit better than the one above you.
Without a doubt. Go down the list of how everyone's kind of impacted you and really talk about your guys' relationships.
I guess we'll start with the oldest, Jalon. Jalon's just the soft big brother that you can go to for anything. And then Desmond's like the cool one, which I feel closest to because he relates a lot to me. And then Devan, the one above me, because I skipped Jordyn on accident. But Devan is rude. He is mean to me. We don't really get along. But on the court, we have great chemistry. But at home, we don't. And then Jordyn is my big sister, and she's the only girl that I can relate to, when it comes to both basketball and school or anything outside of school. And the connection we have is very special compared to the rest of my siblings. And then Jaloni's next. She's younger than me. She's currently on my high school basketball team as an 8th grader. And just the chemistry we have on the court is different than the rest of my siblings. I feel like we're a great combo together. And she's pretty cool. And then Jasiah, the youngest, he's just Jasiah.
Yeah, for sure. And so, I mean, you talked about that. Playing with your sister right now is obviously a special bond. But obviously, like you said, she started in 8th grade, and so did you. So talk about what it's like kind of getting in play an extra year of high school and just getting that experience.
Well, when I first started in 8th grade,
I went to Franklin Road Academy, and starting as an 8th grader was kind of scary because I was playing against older girls. I was playing against seniors, juniors, and I was only in 8th grade. But like as I started practicing with the team, getting to know my team, and getting to know the way of basketball, it became easy. It became like 2nd grade knowledge to me.
No doubt. Let's talk about you and Jelani's relationship. Obviously, being two people that's possibly going to play with each other for a long time still. Talk about what it's like seeing her develop and kind of come into her own now, becoming one of the top prospects in her class. Just talk about your guys' relationship, what it's like playing together.
It's really fun. Every time she penetrates, she always finds me. She kicks for the 3, or I'll kick to her for the 3. And the excitement we have when we're together is just special. And then she's a very, very vocal player out there. She's just an 8th grader, and she still controls how we play as a team. She's a big player for our team right now.
No doubt. And then also you just talked about Jordyn. I mean, obviously having 3 sisters that are all really special, being able to play at a high level as well. Talk about you guys and how you guys kind of bonded as being the 3 sisters in the family.
Well, our brothers tend to play a lot of basketball, or they play like Fortnite together. But we'll go out to dinner. We have our special time while the boys have theirs, or we'll go to dinner with our dad because we don't really get enough time with him because he's always with the boys. But we'll go work out together. And most of the time, it'll just be me, Jaloni, and Jordyn because it's different when we work out together than with all the entire family because it's a big stress factor trying to be better than the other. So.
For sure. How do you guys compare when you guys play boys versus you guys?
Oh, it's definitely very, very, very touchy game. We're fouling. We're trying to do the best because obviously they're boys and they're stronger. But we shoot a lot. We don't really take it to the basket because they'll try and block our shot or foul us and say they don't foul us. But we're faster than them at least, and we have 2 good shooters and a great penetrator. So we give what we need done.
Absolutely. And then kind of talk about your dad. Obviously, he's one of the guys that started it all. Just talk about how he's someone that's went to college and obviously dominated, having NCAA records that are still holding today with steals. But talk about how his impact has been on your guys' life, and especially with you.
Well, with me being the 4th child, since I was a baby, all my brothers had already started basketball, so I was always with my dad. I was always in the gym. I would fall asleep in the gym. I would wake up in the gym. And one day, my brothers were playing, and my sister was playing with them because they all played on the same team when they were younger. And he just saw me bouncing the ball, and he was like, "Is this what you want to do?" And I was like, little, so I was like, "Yeah, I want to be like my brothers and my sisters." So as time went by, he kept pushing me and pushing me and pushing me, working out every Saturday in the gym, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, getting me mentally prepared to be the person I am today. So, yeah.
No doubt. And talk about your high school career so far. I mean, you've been able to win a state championship. Talk about what that experience was like.
Well, since I played varsity in 8th grade, when I went to Ainsworth, I couldn't play last year. So it's very, very tough for me. But as being the player that I am, I had to work with my teammates in practice every single day, push them to be better so they could take this dub at the state championship.
No doubt. And it's time to talk about your high school career from here on out. Where do you see it kind of going, and obviously leading into your recruitment process down the road?
Well, for the next 3 years down here, we're going to win state every single year. But as far as my recruitment, I'm not really sure where I want to go. But right now, just being young, maybe West Virginia, because I really like their girls team and what they've done. Kentucky, or even Alabama. Those are just my top 3 right now, with me being young and all.
Absolutely. And so obviously having your younger sister too, and obviously playing together right now, have you guys had any talks about potentially wanting to play together down the line?
Yeah. She is really good, so she'll probably go somewhere really big. And hopefully, she'll want to continue with me wherever I go. But there's a possibility that I wouldn't pick the school that she wants to go to. So I guess
Without a doubt. And before I let you go, I was like wrapping a couple different questions. The first one being, who would you say would be your biggest role model so far?
Desmond. I just think I relate to him more than I relate to the rest of my siblings. With our parents, with like the work effort we put in, just his personality and just like the person he is, and I feel like he cares for me more than the rest of my siblings.
That's awesome. So just having that connection with someone, I mean, obviously I think God always puts someone in your life that you're really the closest to, and rather be one sibling, couple siblings, but just having that person kind of pushes you and you can always go to is a huge thing.
Yeah, I agree.
I appreciate being able to take your time to come on today. Best of luck, obviously, from here on now. I'm excited to see what you guys are able to get done.
Thank you.
Yep, no problem. All right, God bless.
You as well.
I'm blessed to welcome on the 2017 Prep Player of the Year, the Trend Times Player of the Year, and was named the best dunker in New Jersey. He started off his collegiate career at Brown University, where in 2018 he was named the Ivy League Rookie of the Year, set a school freshman scoring record with 468 points throughout the season, and was named as second team All-Ivy. In 2019, he was also named to the USBWA District 1 team. He was 61 points away from 1,000 career points, which he'll be able to continue while at Nevada University. He led the team in scoring the past 2 seasons while at Brown and was the 4th leading scorer in all the Ivy League. And that person is Desmond Cambridge. What's going on today, bro?
What's going on, Zach? Appreciate you having me.
No problem, bro. So, I mean, let's jump right into this. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff we're going to get into about Nevada, but obviously, just to kick it off, talking about you guys and as a family. I mean, it's something special to be a part of a family that obviously has so much basketball talent, obviously starting with your parents and all, and now going down to having all you guys are top basketball players, rather be in college right now, or guys up and coming. So kind of talk about what it's been like growing up with so much talent in the family.
Well, from a young age, we all started playing. I think at 3-year-old, all of us is pretty much when we started playing. My dad, he played at Alabama A&M when he was in college, so he was the one who, instilled basketball in the family, and he just had that passion. So we were always around him, watching him, because we were born when he was in college. So we were at all his games, and, we were born to be basketball players. And ever since then, we've always been playing. And so we actually, like when we were young, me, Jalon, Devan, and Jordyn were all on the same, little league team. And it was crazy because we almost had a starting 5. And we were all siblings and, within the right age group to play. And so that was real fun. And then ever since we were little, we just been playing, outside, always been competitive and, pushing each other to be better. And so as we just continue playing basketball, all the time, at the community center, in the backyard or whatever, we just kept getting better, and that's all we did, really.
That's awesome. I mean, I know everyone in sports really embraces having siblings, especially like brothers, and all being able to play together or just have brothers that are all at elite levels. And you see that with many different brothers out there. And obviously, having you guys, it's not just brothers. You obviously have elite sisters as well, which is something that's truly special.
Oh, yeah. And I think the girls benefit a lot from it as well because it really gets them tougher and gets them to play, more at an elite level because they've been playing against older boys their whole life. And I definitely see that in their game. And so that's why everyone always says the girls are the best in the family. And I agree with that because they're real tough.
No doubt. And obviously, like you said earlier, I mean, it kind of started obviously with your dad. I mean, he set an NCAA record that still stands today, obviously having the most steals in a single season along with averaging the most steals and having that kind of impact. What's it like knowing that your dad obviously not only was someone that played basketball, but was able to be really an elite basketball player at the college level?
That definitely helped me a long way. As I was growing up, trying to get on the AAU teams or, trying to get into different high schools, his name and what he did carried me a long way. People would give me the benefit of the doubt just because they knew my dad, and so that definitely went a long way. And he would brag about it all the time, just what I did when I was in college. So that's why people are giving you the chance, even the chance to be here just because of me. So I'd be like, all right, that's cool. But now, and especially with me being a junior, we have the same name, so people would get me mixed up all the time. When people would talk about me, they would think they were talking about my dad, and that always kind of like sparked a fire in me because I wanted to be known as the best Desmond Cambridge. But
Mm-hmm.
but what he did, it definitely went a long way, held a lot of weight, and has gotten me to a bunch of different places.
That's big time. And so now let's kind of go down the list of obviously of all your siblings. Talk about really each one of them and how they kind of helped you, and talk about your guys' relationship.
Well, Jalon, he is the oldest, and Jalon has always, well, he's short. He has a different mom than me, so he's always been shorter than me and Devan. But he has always like helped me to be like more mature because like I always felt since I was the taller one, I should have been the oldest. So I always just like everything he would do, I would just try to, I don't know, like one up him or top him or be more mature than he was, and so I could be considered the oldest. And that's probably the best way I would say he helped me. And then Devan, we have the same mom, so we live with each other every day. And I think he helped me get tougher because, we would fight every day. We would get in arguments, we would like really full on fist fighting. And, that's my brother. So, I love him. Like at the end of the day, after the fight, we still love each other. So we definitely, would push each other and get each other stronger, tougher. And when he would do a dunk, I would try to top him. Then when I would do a dunk, he would try to top me. And so that constant battle with each other, just made us even better. And then Jordyn, when we would go to the community center or something, and of course we'd get on our team, and then other people would be like, "You want a girl on your team?" I'd be like, "Yeah," and she's better than you, like, and so that would always just be funny for me because people would always think that she wasn't good, and then we'd just give her the ball the first like 2 or 3 plays, and she'd just go get buckets. So that was always funny. And then those are probably the ones who had the biggest impact. And then, my sisters, Kennedy and Jaloni and Jasiah, they were all younger. So, even though they're my siblings, we weren't hanging out a lot, it's just, they were just too young. But they definitely looked up to us a lot, and we had a big impact on them.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously talking about you and Devan, I mean, I know whatever it is, I'd rather just be 2 siblings or having it be multiple. I think there's always that one sibling you always become kind of the closest to, but that closest sibling obviously always relates and ends up having a lot of just kind of like fighting stuff. But at the end of the day, you guys are always the closest, and having that brother that kind of pushes you and is there that kind of is a lot like you in terms of build and kind of athleticism is a huge thing.
Oh yeah, for sure. And me and him, like we talk every day on FaceTime. We literally like constantly, like, we're our biggest supporters, but we're also each other's biggest haters because you need those, and it just fuels you. And we know each other, like our strengths, weaknesses. So obviously we have the best insight to each other. So we constantly criticizing each other so we can get better.
Without a doubt. And then obviously for you, you started off your career at Brown, but you ended up going down to Nevada. So talk about that, and really, was there any consideration about possibly teaming up with Devan at Nevada?
Yeah, so I started off at Brown, and I was playing. I was really playing. I was playing good, playing well, but it just wasn't the right fit for me. Being I didn't really like the North. It was kind of cold, and it just wasn't the right fit for me. So when I entered the transfer portal and said I was going to Nevada, one of my biggest points was trying to get Devan to come with me because all of the coaches that were talking to me, they heard about my brother, and they were like, "What is he doing? What is he doing? What are you doing? You think we could both get you to go together?" So that was like a big focal point for me. I wanted us to go to the same school, but there was obviously some, schools that were recruiting us. So there were some that were recruiting both of us, some that weren't. But we're definitely considering that. But if he were to come to Nevada, they didn't have a spot for him right away, and he would have had to take the JUCO route, and he didn't want to do that. So that was the only reason he didn't end up coming with me.
Definitely. I know for you, obviously, that would have been something special playing with your brother. And I mean, still obviously having that connection, knowing you guys are still playing at college and eventually could team up rather than be outside of college would be a huge thing as well.
Oh yeah, well definitely we definitely have high aspirations, dreams of going to the NBA, and like me and him together, like that's really scary. We've been playing with each other like our whole lives, and when you go to the community center, that's when you create those bonds, the feel for each other, and we know what each other like to do, and so
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely trying to get the Nevada Auburn game, for next year. I've been talking to my coach about that. But at some point outside of college, I definitely want to be able to play with it.
That's big time. So let's talk a little bit more about you. Obviously, you started off your first two seasons, like you said, at Brown, and you were obviously went in there and dominated. I mean, you came in really not you were a known player, but not really a ranked player, a high level like ranked player coming out of high school. But you came in and really broke a lot of records. You were a top player, and you almost reached 1,000 points. So talk about what that was like, growing and developing in your first couple seasons out there.
Well, coming from the team with James Wiseman and Jordan Bone, I was kind of under recruited, and they got a lot of publicity. And well, not just to put it all on them, but I wasn't as good as I could have been, and I was kind of a late bloomer. My senior year was kind of like when I really got kind of good, but it was just too little, too late, I guess. And so I ended up going to Brown, which is no bad school at all, but I was able to come in right away, and I was a guy. I was the freshman who was supposed to come in and score. And I started every game when I was there. Well, before my first scrimmage, he was like, I don't know if we're going to start you. I don't know if you're ready yet. But then he ended up starting me, and I only scored 5 points. I think missed like 3 shots, made 2. And so it wasn't that good. But then ever since then, I just took off, and my coach, he really had confidence in me and just let me score and show my abilities, what I could really do that a lot of people didn't know I could. So within that system, I was really able to shine.
That's big time. And I mean, like you said, just getting a place that you knew that for the first couple of years to be able to build up your resume, build up who you really wanted, let schools see who you were is a huge thing. Just find the place that you knew you were going to be able to have a chance to shine, and obviously turn to the player where you were one of the best, if not the best player in the Ivy League the past couple seasons.
Oh yeah, for sure. And it was really a chance for me to find myself, and like with me having aspirations to be in the NBA, I would talk to my coach a lot about film and like what other shooting guards are projected to do or projected to be, and what I needed to do. And so I had a couple of NBA scouts in there, and they would come in and just watch our practices and just tell me what I need to work on. A bunch of them told me that I had an inconsistent shot. My shot was different every time. And so ever since then, I worked on that, and I become a great shooter because of it. And I know what I have to do to get where I want to be. Now I just have to do it and stay consistent.
Absolutely. And then obviously you decided past that season was to now go and transfer. And you obviously originally opened it up having 3 of your top teams were originally Vanderbilt, Virginia Tech, and Stanford. And then you decided obviously to go to Nevada. But talk about how that process went, when you decided officially you knew you wanted to transfer, and really what schools you were really looking at.
I knew I wanted to transfer like right at the end of the season, and so put my name in the portal and just see what happens. See what my skill set would attract, because the biggest thing I wanted was a good connection with the coach, and just a place where they believed in me and believed in my abilities. And so when I went in there, I was getting calls from everywhere, SEC, ACC, I really everywhere, because I think I was like top 5 on the portal and scoring. So my name was real high up there. So I was getting calls. But I didn't want to just go to the biggest school per se, I wanted to go to the right fit, because that's the most important thing. No matter where you go in this country, I think as long as it's a D1 school, they're going to find you, as long as you deserve to be in the NBA. And so I had Vanderbilt, Stanford, and Virginia Tech in my final 3. And, it just didn't work out. And then with Coach Alford getting a job in Nevada, he liked me. And when I heard that Coach Alford was on the phone, I was like, are you serious? Like, he's a legend. Like, that's UCLA, Coach Alford. And I was like, all right, bet, I'll go on a visit. And when I visited, it was everything that I needed to get where I want to go. And the grass can always be greener on the other side, but like when you know what you want to do and you have your mindset and you have everything you need, I found my home right there.
That's awesome. And I think you hit something that was really, really perfect that I always like to talk about in interviews. And I'm talking about, like you said, that no matter where you go, NBA is able to find you with technology, with media, TV, and all that. You will be found. Whether you're the smallest D1, the biggest D1, it doesn't really matter anymore. And I think that's what a lot of people are starting to see. We see guys, obviously like John Morant, go to a place that no one really knew where Murray State really was prior to last season. Now he obviously is the number 2 pick, and Nevada just obviously had 2 guys now in the NBA from last year, obviously the Martin brothers. I mean, that's just a huge thing to be able to see and know that you can go there and really make it out and become the NBA player you dream of wanting to be.
Oh yeah, for sure. With like social media, like you said, and just the technology wave, like it's just too easy for people to get exposure nowadays. And so now all it is the person taking the time in, putting the work in. And like John Morant, he was a guy that I saw his freshman year, and I happened to see him the summer of right before his sophomore year, like his Instagram, and I was like, who is this kid? Like he's really good. Like people are about to know about him. And then right after that, that's when he took off. And it was crazy because I had seen it before it happened, and I was like, but I was seeing him like putting in work because I followed him, and I was just like, he's just consistent. And he's doing this like every game, day in, day out. And he just took off. I was like, that showed me that it doesn't matter about the school. It matters about the person who you are, the time you take to put in your craft. And so John Morant, even though he's like, I'm probably older than him, he's the dude that I look up to because like, of where he started and where he's not obviously just starting, but where he's at now. And that kind of put a blueprint down for me and like what I'm trying to do.
Without a doubt. And I mean, obviously, like you said earlier, I mean, going to Nevada, that's a place you can go. But for you, that you only went to Nevada, I believe, one time prior to actually going there for your visit. So talk about really what it was like knowing that Nevada is a place that you ended up wanting to go, even though you'd never really been there before.
Yeah. I literally had they sent me the flyer when in the recruiting text, and that got my attention, like the apartments, all that. It was real nice. So I was like, okay, I want to visit here. I just at least go see what it's about. And to be honest, bro, like as soon as I got there, like it's 10,000 feet in the air, mountains everywhere, snowfield mountains, and this is summertime. I was like, wow, I can get with this. Like this is beautiful. And so like the actual city, besides from basketball to school, like it's just beautiful and I love it. And then even though this is a mid-major college, they run the program like it's high major. We have Raymond Sessions who just left he was a part of Nevada. He built the Raymond Sessions gym that we have, and it's like NBA facilities. That's our practice facility. And then we have Lawler Event Center. I've never been able to play in an arena like that, and that fills me every day. Like when I'm just working out in there, I just like imagine myself with all the crowd, field, and it really pushes me because it definitely a change of scenery.
Mm-hmm. Without a doubt. And obviously coming in next year, what's the team going to start looking like? Obviously, we know there's 3 commits already going there. Obviously, Dre Henry, Alen Huzovic, and obviously Jelani Clark. But talk about those guys. Have you had any connection with the new recruits coming in for next year? And if so, how do you think they're going to fit into the team next year?
Oh, yeah, for sure. Jelani Clark, that's my guy. We FaceTime probably like once every 2 weeks, once every week. That guy, he's really my twin. Like he's high energy guy, like real like pass first point guard on his visit. We really connected well. So I'm really looking forward for him to come. And then Dre, nice power forward, like bounce out this world. When he came, we connected real good too, and he's just real cool. Like the chemistry, the team chemistry is real important and real big for a team to be good. And all the guys we have coming in, on their visits, they've all been real cool, and us having that bond is real important. And then them being good, also, that's just a plus. And so that's real nice to have them too. And, I'm new to the West Coast, so I don't really know like all these high school players out here. But I'm glad we got those two for sure that I know.
Without a doubt. And obviously now, like you said earlier, I mean, it's kind of like building a high major like program. I think Gonzaga was the first one to really do it that was part of a weaker conference, if you want to say. Obviously not a Power 5, and they developed now into being one of the premier programs in the country. And obviously Nevada's really getting close to that in the same stage, not quite at the Gonzaga level, but they're getting closer and closer every year. And obviously we see someone else like San Diego State starting to go undefeated and start to really make a name for themselves also in a smaller conference. So I mean, being able to build that up will be a huge thing as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Because as you mentioned, San Diego State, Utah State, those are all teams that were ranked or playing well. Those are all teams, in the Mountain West Conference. And, like, bigger, smaller conferences are starting to make bigger impacts because, people are starting to realize, like, you can just go where the best fit for you, and schools are starting to build their programs, around better cultures, in Nevada. I came here because, they had a lot of hype. They just went to the tournament 3 years in a row, coming off the Twins. But, it's just about the culture, that a team has, the players buying in. And with me, I've become more mature and a leader over time, like with everything I've been through. And so with our team next year, we're really going to be good because, now everyone's going to be coming back, and we've set a culture that we started, at the start of the season, and we'll just keep getting better every day. And we have a lot of good pieces.
Absolutely. And before I let you go, I was wrapping up a couple of different questions. The first one being, who would you say in your life has been your biggest role model?
Well, that's kind of hard because it changes. It changes, as life goes on. But if I were to say one person, that'd probably be Kobe Bryant. Because that was always my favorite player. I've strayed away from him as of lately just because he doesn't play anymore. But I've always loved his mindset, Mamba mentality. That's kind of been a life motto that I went by. I've shaped a lot of my life around him.
Without a doubt. I definitely appreciate you taking time to come on today, bro. Definitely look forward to seeing what you get done in Nevada from here on out. And best of luck.
Appreciate that, bro. All right, man.
No problem, bro. God bless.
You too.